Welcome to another episode of Grub Masters. I'm Chris Derry. This is John Derry. Today, we're doing a tripod turkey. Johnny, what is a tripod turkey?
Well, Chris, tripod turkey is a method of cooking turkey whereby we're going to dangle a turkey from the chain in the center of a tripod, hence tripod turkey. What we have is our tripod set up already, and then we have rebar set into the ground so that it'll stand up to the weight of some chicken wire, what we like to affectionately call a bird cage, of charcoal briquettes. These will become flaming charcoal briquettes. We're going to put in our third bird cage. We're going to wrap the whole thing in foil, and we're basically going to create a huge reflector oven.
Sounds good.
Let me kind of just pop this one in. Now, we're going to kind of put this in between the legs of our tripod, and they're about 2 feet apart. And you're going to want to bang this into the ground. Now, we're using a gravel driveway, which is ideal because we don't care if any ash gets on the gravel. It's just not a big deal. You might want to put this through a pie plate or aluminum foil maybe to catch if you're doing this elsewhere. But here, it's not a problem. We're just going to bang this in. To the point where it'll support the bird cage.
We got a bird cage here. It's about 3 inches in diameter. Just place that right over the rebar, like so.
And now we're just going to fill this up with coal.
All right.
This honestly is the hardest part of this whole thing, is trying to get the charcoals in here.
Want to give that a little shimmy shake there, John?
You give it a little shaky shake so your charcoal settles. There's no real fast way to do this part, but like I said, once it's all done, your rig's set up. Once your rig's set up, it's just basically dangle your turkey and wait. All right, I think we're there. All right, so we're going to grab our turkey, we're going to get it prepped up, we're going to dangle it, we're going to light it, and we're going to wrap it in that order.
All right, it's time to prep the bird. Got a 15-pound turkey here. Johnny, how are you going to prepare this?
Well, it's actually pretty simple. What I want to do is I want to take the wings and I just want to tie them in close to the body so that they're kind of, held tight and they're not just flapping out in the wind burning.
Makes sense.
And I'm also going to take and cover them with a little bit of foil so that they don't burn as well. I'm just going to cover them with a little bit of foil here. Here's one. Here's two. All right. So I want to hold that there. So I got some butcher's twine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up, Chris, and you're going to slide that underneath.
All right.
Beautiful. And now we're just going to tie that off. So our turkey's nice and neat. It's going to look a little bit like a straitjacket.
Very important to cover those tips. This is going to be under some immense heat. They're going to want to burn and char. If you want to save them and eat a little bit of that, you got to cover them.
All right, so that's it. Nothing too fancy. We just want to kind of hold them in tight. All right, there we go. And the same thing with the legs. I'm just going to bind these drumsticks up so that they cooperate as well. And the bird's kind of held in nice and tight and they're not just flopping all over the place. Again, nothing special. A couple of quick knots there. Sort of like when you got the turkey, it was held together. That's it. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set it on our turkey stand. All right. Now you know why we did that over here.
So you're going to stick the stand right from the head, right through the anus.
Right. And that's it. So now we've got our turkey on our stand. Now this stand came from a turkey fryer. If you don't have one of those, you could use some wire, but it's going to be, it's going to be holding up a little bit of weight, about 15 pounds. So you're going to want to make sure that's nice and secure. This is really, really pretty convenient. So now here we are. We're up, we're snug, nothing's flopping around. And let's talk a little bit about temperature.
All right, got a couple of probes here. We're going to stick them in, one into the breast, the other one into the leg. Your breast, you want to get that up to about 150, 155. And then the leg here, you get that up to about 165. Once it gets to those temperatures, you know your turkey's good to go. You never want to eat undercooked turkey, so very important to put the probes in, get them in there now before it's hanging, and Johnny just did it right there before your eyes.
All right, and let's get rid of this little pop-up one. This is just clearly for amateurs. We don't need this one. Don't need that one.
It's out of here.
All right. Now you're going to want to do this carefully. You're not going to want to drop it. And there we go.
Nice. Secure.
Secure. We've got our probes here, which we'll leave out for right now. We'll hook them up later. What we're going to do now is we're going to light this bad boy up. And once it cools down, we'll be able to, we'll be able to wrap it once the flames, subside. Once we get some nice coals, we'll wrap it right up. So let's give this a little light. Okay, now that our towers are lit, we're just going to wrap this in some foil. So I'm going to take some foil and I'm going to crimp it around the bottom of one of the tripod legs here. There we are. And now, Chris, you want to just hold that so I can get it started?
Yep.
I'm going to come around our briquettes. And then we're going to just start raising it up. And right about here, we're going to cut it. Just going to crimp it in on itself. Now we got our nice big reflector oven with our turkey hanging in the center of it. We're going to dome this once we know the coals are really lit pretty well, and it's just going to cook, and we're going to monitor those temperatures with our probes, and when they hit our target temps, we'll pull it out. We'll see you then.
All right. The turkey now has been in here on the tripod for about an hour, 25 minutes. Temperatures come up to about 130 degrees. We need to go in there, take a look, assess how it looks, and see if we need to add a little bit more coal. So, John?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear this. Probably not, but it's actually, you could hear it sizzling in there. So it's definitely hot. Since we've last seen, we've actually enclosed the top, and it's really maintaining. I mean, it's pretty warm. So let's unwrap it, see where we're at. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to add some coals.
Ooh, smells really good.
Yeah, definitely. We could add some coals.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give this a little quick shake.
Come around here. Right back to the top, John?
Yeah, let's load it right back up. So on these two, they've burned about halfway down. And this one, not quite so much.
Very well.
All right, we'll just wrap it back up.
All right. So I think it's time, John.
It's time. Let's unwrap.
Let's take this bad boy out.
We're going to want to do this carefully because we're not going to want to knock a lot of ash onto the turkey. There's probably already a little bit of ash on there. We don't want to make it worse.
That looks good.
Now already, You can hear how crispy that is. Let's just give it a shot. Make sure we're up to our temp.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, if anything, we overshot a little bit. Like the 161 in the breast and the thigh. $175. So, all right, let's let this rest for just a little bit. We'll come back and carve her up. All right, so we let this rest in about 15 minutes. It's pretty much just so that I could touch it because it was pretty hot in there. I could feel actually right through that welder's glove how hot it was. So let's give it a couple little cuts and a couple little tastes.
I like that.
Let's see. Let's get that leg right out of there.
It smells so good.
There we go. So you want to try a little piece of leg meat?
I would love to.
All right, Chris, give this a shot. Nice big piece. It is still pretty hot. We'll give it a taste.
Oh my God.
We were a little over on our temps, but I got to tell you, this is still pretty juicy.
Oh yeah.
Leg meat's great. Get this wing out of here. It's falling apart. Let me just carve a piece of this breast.
Oh, that is delicious, John.
Now imagine you're cooking this out in the middle of no place with a scout troop, family, friends, nice little camp out. It's cold outside, and you just say, hey, how about a piece of this turkey I just cooked? And they'd be like, what? You'd be like, that's right. I cooked a turkey.
Who's cooking a turkey out in the middle of the outdoors? Johnny's doing it.
Try that.
Oh man.
Whoo! It's good.
Nice and juicy still. Good crunch on the skin.